What's up? Jacob Matlow here, live from Houston. So what's going on, people? How's it do? All that, thriving, vibing, all that. So, if you have any questions, definitely let me know, and I will address those said questions. But yeah. Hello, person. Okay, so who watched the election thing? It was like what, an hour ago, or whatever. I don't know. Well, if you guys have any questions about basically anything, just let me know, and you'll. Hello, Emma Anderson. Hello. If you came to see some very autistic content, you came to the right place. I'm pretty good. What about you? What about you? I'm doing pretty good. Yeah. I'm chilling in a room in Houston, Texas. On February 22nd, I got here, and I'm doing pretty good. But if there's any topic that you would like to speak about, definitely let me know, because I'm down to talk about whatever. Okay. I'll talk about anything from something to something. I don't know. My mind's a little blank. But again, I'm down to talk about whatever. Yeah. So if there's a topic you want to touch on, just put it in the chat, and we'll make a whole ass conversation about it. Thank you, but I'm not exactly comfortable with that kind of compliment here. I am with someone, but thank you. It is appreciated. If there's any questions that you have, though, please let me know. Yeah, I do. I do. Yes. Shocking, right? No. I do, though. Yeah. Yeah, well, let's not, okay. I'm gonna just assume you are a troll. I'm not gonna entertain that idea. But if you have any questions about anything else, you are free to ask. Or if you just want to talk about like something specific. Well, I'm sorry, but that's I'm loyal. Okay. But if you want to talk to me as a subscriber, and that's completely fine that you find me attractive. There's nothing wrong with that. But 1 second. I need to go get some. It's completely fine. If you find me attractive, nothing wrong with that. But I am with someone. So, there's that. But, as I said, if there's anything you want to speak about, just let me know. Yeah. Yeah, well, thank you for that. But yeah, as I always say, I am autistic as shit. So, if you want some interesting perspectives on things, you came to the right place. I'm also a stutterer, which you'll probably notice if you keep watching. Probably notice like a few times that I will mess up my speech a lot. Sometimes it takes like 30 seconds just to get one word out. Well, what about it? What specifically would you like to know about it? There's just like a lot to know. Yeah, no. There's a lot to. Well, I mean, I don't get like a lot of like, I guess like social rules, which a lot of people like tend to have. Like one social rule, which I don't get, is the whole like when you sneeze, right? Like you're supposed to say bless you, and if you don't, then people think that you're like such an asshole. Like, okay, what happens if I don't say bless you? Like, are you gonna like explode or something, right? Like, nothing happens if you don't say it, right? But you're an asshole if you don't. That's like one social rule which I don't get. Another one is like I don't get why people like pretend to be different in front of others, but they're like completely different alone. Like there's people which are like I don't know, like very friendly, like if they're alone or with like a friend or whatnot, but like kind of playing like a role like in public. It's like they have them other actual selves, and then like the like alternative self, which like they use for other like interactions and such. Like I don't get that. A lot of people feel kind of pressure to act a certain way, but I don't. I don't get that. Like, why would you not be yourself, even if you are considered weird, right? Why would you like want to be like everyone else just to like not be weird, right? Because if they like the you that you pretend to be, then do they actually like you or who you're pretending to be, right? So, as a person with autism, that is something which I don't get. Like, why people have to pretend to be something instead of just being weird if they just happen to be weird. You know? I don't think my stuttering has to do with autism. I just happen to have it along with autism. I do think like we're more prone to like have a speech problem, but I mean, she probably doesn't have one because she just happens. Huh, that was a voice crack. Uh, just likely because she just happens not to. Um, and ever since I was like 5 years old, I've had a speech problem. Went to speech therapy and all of that. Um, it's not as effective as people would like to think. I mean, like now, right? Sometimes my speech is like really fluent. Sometimes it's really bad. Where like I might have to excuse me, like it might take, let's say, 5 minutes how to say one word, and so, no, I'm not. Um, so instead of like speaking, I, I'll like point or do like charades, like kind of thing. And no, I'm not faking it. I do not know why you would assume that. Um, yeah. Uh, I don't know why that happens when I'm not faking it. Yeah. Um, if you have any questions, just ask away. But no, I'm not faking my stuttering problem. I've had it my whole life. Yeah. But, yeah, so, but yeah, like, there's times where my speech will get so bad that I'll, like, kind of play charades with the person which I'm speaking to. I am from Chicago, born and raised there. Currently, I'm in Houston. But yeah. But like back to the autism thing. Um, I came here to visit my girlfriend. But I kind of like it here, so I'm staying quite a bit longer. But yeah, like just in general, yeah, like social rules is like my big like difference with like I guess non-autistic people. Yes. Um, I have no idea where these questions are coming from. All right. Okay. To the other people watching this, can you not see how this person has? It's like a 50% chance this person is fucking with me. But, okay. If you have any questions, let me know. But yeah, another trait which I have, which is a part of autism, which actually is kind of showing now. I can't really tell when people are like joking with me or being serious, like, uh, especially like sarcasm. I don't get that most times. So like, if someone is being like sarcastic, like half the time I take them seriously. It has caused some it has caused some like uh, misinterpretations in the past. And yeah, I mean, sensory issue wise, I don't like I don't like fluorescent lights. I think they are just painful to look at. Strobe lights, I don't like. Uh, like I don't get how excuse me. I don't get how anyone could like walk in like a club or something with like a disco ball or whatnot. That'd be just painful to walk through. Um, I don't really have like sensory issues with like noise, except with um, I don't like when like I I don't like when multiple people are like speaking to me at once. That is like one thing that will put my brain into like overload, like trying to multitask like a conversation. Like, okay, look here. If I'm speaking like to one person, right, and another person starts speaking to me, immediately my brain just like short circuits. Well, Emma, I'm sorry that you don't believe that. I don't know what to tell you. I personally think you came here to troll. But if you have any serious questions or comments, I would be glad to address those. What do you mean? What's which specifically is silent? AK? Is that how you say your name? AAK? Yeah, like um, I cannot handle like I don't know what the exact term is, like divided attention, like when someone I know like that's not the right word, but um I just get very overwhelmed quickly when like multiple people start speaking to me at once. Oh, I get that. It's called a speech block, I believe. Um, that's probably my it's probably my most common type of stutter which I have. Uh, yeah, uh, it'll take like if it's really bad, it'll take like 5 minutes how to get like one word out, and then I'm just excuse me, um, and then he like um, my speech is getting really bad right now. Sorry. And then like I have to play like charades with the other person or just write it down. Uh, I'm probably going live again later. Yeah, why? Yeah, yeah. I totally agree, AAK. 100%. Like, since I was like 5 years old, I've had that problem. I don't know Emma Anderson. Just, if I had to guess, around 8, 9, maybe a little sooner, maybe later. But yeah. But yeah, so if you guys haven't liked the video, it definitely helps a lot because it makes YouTube show it to more people, which helps my channel. So if you like the live stream, like it if you want. I mean, I can't force you to like it right now. You know, like. Okay. You are a troll 100%. I don't know if I can, but if I could, I would probably have some way to not have you join my live streams. I've told you several times not to do that. I'm just not going to entertain those things now. But, so, to the other people that are here for reasons other than fucking with me, if there's any questions that you have, I would not mind if you guys, I guess, asked if there's anything you want to know. I will gladly answer it, or if you just want to have a general conversation, that's cool too. Yeah. If you're enjoying the live stream, just give it a like. But yeah. But yeah, so, I mean, so, AAK, are you still here? And if you are, what are some struggles you've had growing up with your autism? Alright, what's up, dude? Okay, what are some things that maybe you have struggled with growing up with both a stutter and autism? And then we can see if, like, I can, like, kind of relate with you. Also, like, I don't know if it's like a spectrum thing. Maybe it is, but I do not like the sound of people chewing. Like, if like one thing aggravates me for the most, it's like that mixed with like lip smacking noises when people chew with their mouth open. I cannot do it like at all. It is, for whatever reason, extremely infuriating. Like, okay, kind of the same thing here. It's really like pretty much my whole childhood. I never even knew I was autistic. I just knew like I wasn't like other people. Like I don't mean like in a I'm so quirky like way, but like I just didn't know how to like talk to people. Couldn't make friends as easy. I've had a few, like very very small friend group, but yeah. It's really like after I want to say age 18 is when we figured that out. You know, and now I'm autistic. Well, now we know I'm autistic. I always was, because well, that's how that works. But we know now. What are you gifted in? Like, what is your special interest? Okay. Um, I have a lot of them too, but like with me, right? So like number one is probably like languages. Then we have I'm really into like spirituality and like manifesting. I find that topic like very intriguing, and I could talk all day about it. Um, if there was like such thing as like a spiritualist preacher, I don't know if that's a thing. I could definitely see myself enjoying doing that. Um, Teaching people how to manifest. Um, the topic of like consciousness, like since I was like very small, right? Um, I didn't know what what it was called, but um, I've always like kind of wondered, like thought, like how do I know that I'm like here, right? Like in a way that's like I've always like okay, I can't explain this like accurately. I've always like kind of wondered or thought, right? Like so uh, I can see myself, right? I can look at my arms, move my hands, right? But like me being me being like oh me being like aware of my own existence just always felt so weird to me as a kid. Um, like, how does that make sense? Like, consciousness is probably one of my favorite topics ever, right? Because it's like the one topic which, no matter what, I just can't really find a clear answer to, right? Like here, like okay, one thing which I thought about. I was maybe 9, 10, and I like kind of first thought this like, okay, are you your body or are you your like mind that's in your body, right? Like, okay, trying to word this like in a way that makes sense. Like, okay, yes, yes, exactly, yes, yes, okay, yes, yeah, like here, you can observe your thoughts, right? So like, if you can hear your thoughts, then would it that imply that you are separate from your thoughts in the same way that you can see a painting in front of you because you're not a part of the painting? But if you like tied the painting to, let's just say, your back, you can't see it because it's a part of you. But just the fact you can like observe your thoughts is so weird to me because like it almost makes it seem like you're not actually you, you're just kind of observing yourself, right? And there's like a lot of times where uh, it feels like I'm not really myself, just like kind of being like this, I guess, like awareness that's just watching myself. Um, and there's like another piece to it where, well, there's sometimes, right, where because like it seems like the actual me is my awareness watching who is Jacob, right? Like, it's gonna sound weird, right? That like, I'm trying to phrase this without sounding like cuckoo. Um, because it almost seems like I am not Jacob, but like the awareness which is observing Jacob, right? It almost feels like I am just as much as everyone else than I am me. Like if I'm just observing Jacob, right? Then logically, then everyone else is also me because I am also observing them just as much as I'm like observing me. So it's like at times it almost seems like everyone else is kind of like me but pushed outwards, if that makes sense. Like I know it sounds so crazy, right? But that's what it feels like. Like you're just observing yourself. You aren't yourself, if that makes sense. Like if your name is John, right? It seems like you're not John. You're just the awareness that is observing John from inside John, right? And when you kind of recognize that or like realize that for yourself, it's almost like realizing you're dreaming while you're dreaming. Because when you're dreaming and you don't realize it, right? Things thing, things seem normal. It's almost like a movie, you know? And then once you realize, "Oh fuck, this is a dream." Like, am I making sense or yeah. And yeah, yeah. Um yeah, I completely agree. AK. Yeah. Yeah, like since I was like 5 years old, I've always thought this way. Like I didn't know like how to word it, but I've like always thought like, how do I know I exist? Like, um, wolf things. Yeah, yeah. It's pretty funky. Yes, I would say so as well. Um, but yeah, like I don't know. Like most people, something I've noticed is like most people almost don't even make like any conscious decisions. They do things purely out of like what they're used to doing, like habit, you know, but very rarely do people do things outside of what they do like every day. Like here, people have, let's say, free will, right? But very rarely do people seem to kind of practice free will in a way that breaks what they habitually do. Yeah. Well, yeah, yeah. It's pretty interesting. Yeah. I mean, even then, like, humans are advanced, right? Because we can understand things that pretty much every other animal can't. You know, but at the same time, right? Consciously, because it kind of feels like that you're not you, but rather you're just observing the um, self that you think is you, then wouldn't that imply that you are the animals just as much as you are you? Like, or what you think is you? Like, I know it's kind of a mind fuck, but I think about this literally like all the time. Pretty much all the time I think about this. Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, randomly yelling in a grocery store is a very interesting show of free will. Yeah. Unless it's something that you do regularly, then you could probably argue that it's like habitual, you know. But like, but yeah, like you've probably heard the term like I think it's called like autopilot mode, where like most people without thinking don't do things consciously, but purely just out of what they habitually have been doing. And maybe 10% of people are aware of that. Oh, hello, big house. Hello, hello. It is nice to see you here. Yeah, like very, very rarely, not rarely, but like one out of like 10 people maybe, like can kind of look at themselves and question that. Exactly, dude. Exactly. Like it almost feels like, right, being in a dream, right? Then like realizing that you are dreaming, right? Like dreaming is like being on autopilot, right? Because you're not really consciously doing anything. Like you're not trying. Okay, it's all habitual. Then when you like kind of realize that you're like doing that, it's like, oh fuck, I'm the one controlling this. Like, does that make sense? So it's like kind of like dreaming and then realizing it, and then like kind of lucid dreaming in real life. Again, I know it sounds nuts. Okay, yeah, in Hindu philosophy, I've actually heard about that. AAK. I've actually heard. I have actually heard about that. Um, yeah. But yeah, like I thought about this too, right? Like here, if you are your body, right? Because I would say a decent amount of people would probably reject that they're not their body because they strongly like identify with it, right? If you are your body and not your mind, right? If let's just say you lost both your arms, right? Are you still you? if you lost both of your arms and both of your legs, are you still you, right? If if they cut your head off, right, and they put it on a new body, right? Are you still you, right? And most people will say yes up until they replace the brain, right? Like or the like consciousness, right? So it's like if for most people what they consider them is their awareness and they don't even realize it. Like it's kind of like the concept of, okay, let's just say you wanted to fly from the East Coast to the West Coast of the United States, right? And you took a biplane or whatnot, okay? And every 10 miles, the plane would break down and one part had to be replaced, okay? And by the time you got to the West Coast, okay, every single original part that you started with has been replaced. Is it still the same airplane that you left with from the East Coast? Like, because with your body, cells are dying and replicating pretty much all the time. So, so all the cells that you had maybe 5 years ago, you don't have right now. So, are you? So, with that logic, right? Like, how can you be your body? Like, if who you are keeps changing, but the only thing that remains the same is your mind or your awareness. You know, I've thought about it like like that. You know, um, you know, like because like even this too, right? Like when you die, right? From other people's perspective, right? They cry and mourn over you, yet your body is still there, right? But your mind isn't. So like, they're not crying. Like, even like subconsciously, people recognize that they aren't this. Like, they are their mind. You know. Um. Sorry for the TED talk. Yeah. Yes, I do. It is the exact same name as my Instagram. Um, should be able to find it. Um, it's a public account. Yeah. Yeah. You. Yeah. But yeah. Thank you. Yeah. If you guys haven't, um, please like the video. You know. But yeah. That's if you enjoy the live stream. Yeah. Well, yeah, yeah. I can definitely, um, no, I can definitely uh, like here. Here's kind of my perspective on religion, right? Uh, which seems like kind of what you're getting into. Um, so, okay, a lot of what people see as like magic, right? Um, his is probably just things about a universe that we just don't know about yet. In the same way that an iPhone would be considered magic 300 years ago, right? So, here's, like, let's take something uh, like angels and demons, right? Right? Things that, like, right now people would kind of see as, like, you're fucking crazy if you think that, right? Um, Now, it's just kind of like a thought experiment, I guess. Kind of not. Like, if consciousness, right, is non-local with regards that you are your mind and you're not you, right? Then there are probably like other levels to consciousness where where other conscious things probably exist, right? So if you're just your mind basically like hallucinating yourself as a person, right? Then where is your mind? You know? Um, right? Like it doesn't seem uh, uh, unlikely that there is probably some kind of non-physical life form. Um, and again, like, what is magic? What a lot of people would say is magic could just be things about science or things about the universe that are just not understood yet, right? Like one thing that, and you can call me crazy, and that's completely fine. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna read that before I continue. Yes, exactly. Yes, yes, yes. It's like, yeah, uh, it is like the observer is observing itself, and it's also creating what's around it. It's kind of like here. Know those like slot machines at the let's say a let's say a like okay. Know those like slot machines at like a let's say a casino, right? It's like reality is kind of like a slot machine, right? Where like what you are not consciously observing is constantly spinning, right? Like those like three wheels that like spin next to each other. But like once you look at them, it like forces them to like stop and basically like pick a state which it has to be. And usually that state has to do with what you believe should be there. You know? Like um again, I I know it sounds really weird. Yeah. And yeah. Um I mean, what was I gonna say before you said that? I am so sorry. I do not know what happened there. What was I talking about? I'm not gonna lie. I don't remember exactly what I was talking about. Oh, right, right. So so one phenomena which I think likely exists, and it's completely fine if you don't think that. Um, I could definitely point you to some resources uh, which might convince you of something different, but if not, it's completely fine. Um, I think it is very likely that at the very least some psychic phenomena is real. At least some. You can look at, it's called the telepathy tapes, where it's basically they discovered that people which are on the spectrum, so autism, and even more so uh, and even more so non-verbals, right? For whatever reason, seem to have telepathic abilities. Um, I am not bullshitting you. You can look it up yourself. It's on YouTube. Um, Look up the telepathy tapes. It's all done by credible scientists, and even like they say, oh yeah, that it's plausible. But if consciousness is kind of what I was like speaking about, then it's possible that some people can kind of like tap into other people's consciousness. Um, it's a very like interesting subject, but it kind of like goes into the subject of like what a lot of people think of as magic, right, is probably just science that hasn't been looked into yet. Unaware, like, yeah. Yeah. I mean, um, premonitions is definitely one of them. One way which I've kind of so one way that I've heard this explained is like, imagine like a timeline, right? As like a cigarette, right? And think of you are the cherry that is on it moving. So the red part, which is burning, right? So some people, right, have kind of a larger cherry, right? So they can see more of time, like eh, 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 as they pass through it. Um, I know that's a very weird way of thinking about it. Um, Even though like wait, but yeah, um, yeah, I am like winded from talking so much. But yeah, so I am going to go. It was actually very nice talking to you guys. I hope to catch you on my next live stream. And peace out.